watching Traders Morning Setups with Dex the Algo Capitalist. Dex created his pulse wave price trigger reports over 2 decades ago, and he's been using them to ride the pulse waves as a full-time trader ever since. Find out more about Dex's reports and sign up for our next webinar to learn how to use them at pulsewavetrading.com.
Good morning. Hopefully everyone had a really good night's sleep and you're ready to go about the day. Well, for those that don't know, this week is Fed week, which means we got FOMC tomorrow. We had CPI data that came out to be expected for the most part this morning, and the markets seem to take it in stride for the most part. So let's take a look at what's happening in these overnight markets. So the US dollar index is struggling to hold the 104 level. It did dip down to 103.48 in the overnight markets. Right now it's down 23 pips at 103.86. The euro is up 29 pips at 107.94. Pound sterling up 4 pips at 125.60. And the Aussie is down 4 pips at 65.63. Very interesting turn of events right after the CPI data came out. Some of the markets decided they were going to, change a little bit. Now, your micro FX futures will be rolling over soon. The U.S. stock indices futures have already rolled over to the March contract, so the Forex will be following suit in the next few days. As far as morning setups, we do have a bullish 2-bar Charlie setup in the Euro micro futures this morning, so we expect an all-day up day and for the market to end in the green. Your Bitcoin futures are up 950. Trading at 41,985. Your Ethereum futures are up 15.5 points at 2228.50, and you also have a bullish 2-bar Charlie setup on the Ethereum futures this morning. So we expect an all-day up day and for the market to finish in the green. Crude oil futures are now down $1.90 per barrel. Trading at $69.41 per barrel after topping out in the overnight market at $71.95 per barrel. Nat gas futures off 8 cents at $2.35. Gold futures up $6.40 per ounce, trading at $2,000.10 per ounce. The silver futures are up 13 cents per ounce at $23.20 per ounce. Copper up a penny at $3.79. The Dow futures up 37 points at 36,843. It had rallied into the CPI data and hit a high of 36,992, stopping just shy of a 37,000 Dow. E-mini S&P 500 futures down, we'll say 5 points at 46.73 half. It had rallied up to 46.96 and a quarter, just shy of the 47 handle in the S&P. The E-mini NASDAQ 100 futures are up 1 3/4 points at 16,451 quarter, and it's just high off of it's just off its morning high of 16,546 3/4. Russell futures rallied up to 1924 a half before falling now down 5 points at 1901.60. The soybean futures right now are down a penny at $13.34 a bushel. Corn up 2 pennies at $4.83 a bushel. And wheat is up 3 pennies at $6.12 per bushel. You do have a bullish 2-bar Charlie set up this morning on your corn futures, so we expect an all-day up day and for the market to finish in the green. So don't have a lot of morning setups, but you got a little couple here, enough to keep you going. I forgot to mention you have a bullish two-bar Charlie setup in the silver futures this morning in the March front month contract. So we're expecting all day up day and for the market to finish in the green. Now it's time for our pre-market news. Well, it's Tuesday, folks. We've all felt jealousy rise up within us while scrolling social media. Maybe it's a photo of that ex with their new beau or an annoying relative on a luxe vacation. The latest trigger for many on TikTok, a UPS driver breaking down his weekly paycheck. Today we turn to Harvard, which finds itself in the spotlight again after a disastrous congressional hearing and the resignation of the president of Penn. So here's what's on deck this morning. In markets, the Shoei Ohtani's $700 million contract is impacting Japan's stock market. In tech news, from Travis Kalise to Barberheimer, this is what everyone Googled in 2023. And in business news, how giant food companies are ruining your favorite snacks. But first, the heat is back on at Harvard. Is Harvard next? Elite colleges are in crisis. It started at Harvard in the aftermath of Hamas terrorist attacks on Israel in early October, when more than 30 student groups responded by putting out a statement holding Israel's government responsible for the violence. The uproar was immediate, with billionaire alumni Bill Ackman playing a vocal role. Then came the congressional testimony of Harvard President Claudine Gay, Penn President Elizabeth Magill, and MIT President Sally Kornbluth. The trio waffled on a question from Republican Representative Elise Stefanik over whether calling for the genocide of Jews would be a violation of their school's code of conduct. Ackman called for the three to resign in disgrace, while another Wall Street CEO said he'd pull a $100 million donation from Penn absent a change in leadership and values. McGill resigned over the weekend, after which Ackman renewed his calls for Gay and Kornbluth to go. One down, two to go, Stefanik said in a statement. Stefanik graduated from Harvard and later sat on the advisory committee at the college, but was removed in 2021 after she asserted voter fraud in the 2020 election. Gay, who was Harvard's first black president, has apologized for her remarks on anti-Semitism. The Harvard community has rallied around her, with more than 500 faculty members signing a letter defending her, and the university's Alumni Association also expressing support for her. But others outside the Ivy League college remain furious with Gay's testimony. The days ahead will determine whether Gay or any other university leaders will step down, voluntary or otherwise. But the question over college leadership and campus culture aren't likely to go away anytime soon. Larry Summers, the former president of Harvard, has described the current tension as difficult a moment or for elite higher education as any moment since the Vietnam War. In markets, we have Shohei Ohtani's massive $700 million contract having an impact on the Japanese stock market. The hefty contract appears to be pushing the share prices of several corporate sponsors higher, per Bloomberg, including Mitsubishi, Seiko, and others. The Dow, S&P 500, and NASDAQ 100 all notched new highs for 2023 on Monday. It comes as investors prepare for a critical week filled with central bank meetings and economic data releases. So the big question remains, how many times will the Fed cut rates? No matter what the Fed does with monetary policy in 2024, investors should pay close attention, as rates represent a significant input for the broader economy and stock market valuations. In tech news, the many faces of Sam Altman. There is the Machiavellian politician, but there's also the smart CEO tactician, and the open AI CEO's dueling identities have merged amid the reports of his firing and rehiring. Here's what everyone was Googling this year: Travis Cleese, The Last of Us, Ocean Gate, Barbenheimer. Google Trends revealed some of the most searched trends in 2023. Google just lost a landmark antitrust case. A jury sided with Fortnite developer Epic Games, finding that the tech giant held a monopoly in its Google Play Store for Android operating systems, limiting the reach of competitors' apps and charging high fees for processing in app purchases, known as micro transactions. You can't make this stuff up, folks. This is something else. So basically, you have those that are defrauding you and fleecing you with all these microtransactions, then in turn themselves getting fleeced with microtransactions on their bottom line. Outrageous. This is you can't make this stuff up. You just can't. You just can't. No matter what you do, you just cannot. All right, so in business news now, giant food companies are quietly ruining your favorite snacks. As costs go up, companies are forced to either raise prices or cut costs on your favorite food items by skimping on ingredients and hoping you don't notice. Well, this is all part of the whole what do you call that? I can't think now. Where basically your manufacturers are putting less product in the container, and then they're charging you either the same price or more. So you're paying more but getting less. All right. So yeah, that's the problem. I just can't think of the term right now off the top of my head, but you know what I'm talking about. If you shop for your household, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And it affects everything from a box of Mike and Ike's that you may want to buy to your favorite brand of potato chips. They're shrinking the content. And in some cases, they're even putting it in smaller boxes. And they don't care that you notice. Instead of getting 12 in a box, you may only get 8 or 10 in a box now. Just depends on what it is you're buying. Toy maker Hasbro is cutting about 1,110 jobs, its CEO said Monday. That's on top of the 800 layoffs already announced this year. Layoffs have expanded beyond tech, media, and finance, with retail companies also cutting. And the surprise exit of the Goldman Sachs Japan leader, Goldman Sachs CEO David Solomon, had a meeting with Masanori Makadis this days before they walked off the job. The hasty exit was leaving insiders looking for explanations and has revived concerns about Solomon's blunt communication style. Yeah, you got to watch how you talk to people. That's for sure enough. Thank you. Thank you. Shrinkflation. Thank you, John. John just hooked me up. It's shrinkflation. That's when you have the rising cost of products and then they shrink the amount of product that they give you. Shrinkflation. Thank you. In other news, Elon Musk is calling for Harvard's defunding. Jeff Bezos probably isn't actually a bad neighbor, and Israel drove suitcases stuffed with cash into Gaza to keep Hamas in power, according to the New York Times. Supreme Court says it will consider special counsel Jack Smith's request to quickly decide if Trump can be criminally charged, and how bosses keep track of your attendance at the office, from under desk sensors to badge swipes. What's happening today? The CNN Republican presidential town hall featuring Ron DeSantis is tonight. Jake Tapper will moderate the live event. The Wall Street Journal CEO Council Summit wraps up today. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen will speak at the Washington, D.C. event. And happy birthday, Frank Sinatra, Dionne Warwick, Amanza Smith, and Mayim Bialik were also born on this day. But the juicy stuff, I know this is what you're waiting for. You want to know, where is the market going, how high and how low? Well, I'll let you in a little secret. Coming into today's trading, the Dow Jones is in a locked in bull market. Nothing bearish on the chart. As far as even the S&P 500, same thing. Locked in bull market. No bearish signals on the algo charts. Gold, on the other hand, it's in a bull market, but it's under an official correction. And it is getting dangerously close to pulse waving negative on the day. All right. So that is a red alert. If you are a subscriber to the Pulse Wave Reports, log into your dashboard, go to DEX's watch list, and you will see what I am talking about. In addition to that, your Bitcoin futures also had a crash alert coming in today's trading. As you know, if you watched last night's video, you know what that's about. The good news for you bulls, though, is that the market did not negative pulse wave, okay? All right. Instead, it's getting a little technical bounce. So if you're long this market, you might be okay. Same thing with Ethereum. You had a crash alert coming into today's trading. It did not negative pulse wave. So if you're long this market as well, you might be okay for another day. Live the trade another day. As far as your NASDAQ 100, though, unfortunately, you had a crash alert coming into today's trading. The good news is that the market is not negatively pulse waving. So if you are long or bullish on this particular market, you may too be able to live and trade another day. As far as the Russell, it is in a bear market correction according to the algo charts, and it too had a crash alert for tonight into today's trading. The good news here is it too is not negatively pulse waving. So you, if you are bullish or long this market, may also live the trade another day. It's going to be interesting, though, as the markets have pulled back a little bit off of their overnight highs after the announcement of the CPI data. Now, if we go back and look historically, before I go on with that, hold on. Silver. Silver is in a bull market correction as well, and it also is not negatively pulse waving, but has come dangerously close. So if you're long silver futures, you too may be able to survive the trade another day, but you need to be very careful. The intraday price inflection points draw nigh. And if you are a subscriber to the Pulse Wave Reports, you need to run to your dashboard, log in and go under DEX's watch list to see exactly what I'm talking about and make sure you don't get caught unaware, or should I say off guard. All right. So please don't play yourself. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Now, before we get on to our next topic, I just need to remind you of this commercial break. Alert, alert, alert. We have what must be a mistake on our website. I am seeing that the Pulse Wave Price Trigger Reports Pro membership is available for just $888 a year. Obviously, I'm firing all my people and calling the police. But before I do that, maybe you want to go and grab one. Get yourself the best yearly subscription price we have ever had on our website. This sale smells like it is about to expire. So grab a slice of that sale price cheese before Frank fixes his mistake. PulseWaveTrading.com. See if you can get there before we put it back to a reasonable price. PulseWaveTrading.com. All right, so let's get into this topic here. This one is interesting. It really caught my attention. So we're going into this before we wrap things up today. And this is how bosses keep track of your attendance at the office, from under-desk sensors to badge swipes. Yeah, companies have long used what they call bossware surveillance to monitor workers and their productivity. Return to office plans put renewed attention on these tactics, which range from badge swipes to various sensors. Here are the most popular ways employers track office utilization according to a new survey. Yeah, companies mandating employees return to the office. No, not everyone will comply. The upswell in return to office mandates is putting reward attention on surveillance tools that help companies keep tabs on workers. There was a marked shift this year, however, in where we work. Accounting firm EY released its third annual Future Workplace Index on Monday, which anonymously surveyed more than 500 U.S. C suite and business leaders across multiple industries this fall. Just 1% of respondents reported having a policy of full time remote work, defined as less than 1 day in the office per month, compared to 34% last year. With heightened focus on hauling workers back to the office, companies are deploying more bossware technologies to monitor compliance with RTO mandates. The various data collection and tracking measures are important components of the people, process, and technology ecosystems that inform return to office analysis, as well as ongoing workplace planning and optimization, said Francisco Acaboto, the co-leader of EY's corporate real estate consulting and technology practice, in a statement. Understanding how, when, and why people are using the office is critical to the development of informed hybrid workplace strategies and an enhanced workplace experience. Now, EY's survey asked respondents, how are you currently collecting data to maximize and optimize your office space? Here's what they said. 51% said they're using Wi-Fi. 47% said they're using badge swipes in and out. 44% said artificial intelligence. That's a whopping percentage, folks. 35% are using digital cameras. 24% are using people counting sensors. 24% are also using presence detection sensors. 24% are also using Internet of Things, foot traffic sensors. 22% are using bad swipes in only. 22% are using occupancy sensors. 16% are using under the desk sensors. So every time you get up and get out from your desk, you're being logged. 14% are using Bluetooth low energy based sensors. 2% are using none, and 1% reported using other. The scary part is, what's that other? Of course, it's hard to say what some of the measures look like in practice. Artificial intelligence technology could mean any number of things. There is some employee tracking software which may or may not be used by the respondents in the EY survey that offers the ability to monitor employees' keystrokes on their laptops or even activate their microphones or webcams without their knowledge, or take screenshots and video recordings of their screens. Now, that is downright frightening. Talk about 1984 Big Brother on steroids. Wow. That is over the top. Right now, employers are doing too much. Let's just be honest. You're doing too much. Turning on people's micro, isn't that an invasion of privacy when you turn somebody's microphone on and screens? But I know what the employer is going to say. Well, these are laptops and devices that we give to the employees to do their work, so we own that software, hardware, technology, whatever. Is that a gray area of the law, though? Invasion of privacy? I mean, it's one thing to log and monitor your work and things of that nature, but to turn on your camera and microphone so they can listen in on you, that's like having a bug in your house or on your phone or on your person. That's scary, folks. High-tech water coolers can even provide data on when employees are arriving or leaving the office or taking breaks. So it's not enough to have cameras, but now they're sticking devices in water coolers. So the water cooler has a mic in it. The little sippy cup that you get from the water cooler has a mic in it. Is there a mic in the toilet too? Oh my goodness. So what's next? It's no secret some companies use their office attendance findings to discipline or fire workers refusing to go back to the office. But companies could probably learn a thing or two otherwise from their vast employee data collection. The kit of parts that comprise the hybrid workplace has become increasingly complex, but if designed properly, they can incorporate the flexibility to evolve, switch out key components, and if needed, reset based on insights and learnings. This is definitely a brave new world, folks. And I don't think I like it very much, to be honest with you. This is crazy. Well, that's all we got for this morning's show. I do appreciate you tuning in. And you definitely do not want to miss the Outside the Box podcast today, Thinking Outside the Box. We're going to be talking about science. And we're going to be looking at the history of science and its current influence over society and scandals and denial regarding it. You don't want to miss it. And that's only on Rumble. See description in the link of this video or go to postwavetrading.com to learn more. And with that being said, remember the system works if you work the system. Bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can and give nothing back. And on that note, I am out. Peace.